Hello guys, so I hope you guys are doing well, and today I have a flu, so don't mind my voice. But what I want to share with you is the importance of accountability in your trading, which is something many traders lack. So you'll often find struggling traders, whenever you talk to them, they are easily frustrated with their performance because they don't like the fact that they're not making money in the market consistently. Maybe it's because their strategy doesn't work, or for some reason they have their own personal issues in terms of poor psychology, whatever it is, which is affecting them in the market. But often when you chat with them and you try to ask them, how's your trading taking you? They'll tell you, I'm just struggling with trading. And they'll give you very blanket, responses like, I'm struggling with psychology, or I'm just struggling, the markets are not just working to my favor. Some of them will even blame the broker. So you find struggling traders want to blame everything and everyone apart from themselves. And I've told you in my channel before, there is no such thing as just saying I'm struggling with psychology, because psychology is a very overall and huge perspective. So you need to be able to break down and say I'm struggling with psychology from the perspective of maybe interfering with my running trades, or I'm over trading, or I'm doing a lot of revenge trading, or I'm very fearful in terms of when I see my setups I don't execute them because I fear what if I lose that trade. So most struggling traders usually cannot give you a specific answer as to why they are struggling, and I'll tell you for free, there is nothing as difficult as being in a position where you're struggling in the markets, you're frustrated, you're hardly making any money. Then, to make it worse, even you yourself, you can't tell why. If you find yourself in such a position, most of the time, I want to tell you that you actually are the problem in the market. And I know this because I was, this specific type of trader before. I was this person who was making so many mistakes in my trading, but at the end of the week, at the end of the month, whenever I looked at my P&L curve, I just said these excuses like, trading is difficult, I just can't make money, the strategy is not just working. But sometimes you need to ask yourself some really tough questions. Have you actually been putting in the right effort? Is it that the markets are just difficult, or is it you who's actually approaching the market doing so many mistakes but you're not taking any accountability? For example, you've been taking trades in the market but you've never backtested. Then when you lose, you just start to say the markets have been choppy, the markets have been bad. So you have no data around your system, but you're trading, you're struggling, yet somehow you just believe trading is difficult. Another case could be you take your trades but you never journal. So you've been trading for 6 months, 1 year, whatever period it is. You never keep any active journal to track your trades and your performance. For you to be in a position to spot any potential mistakes or gaps that are there in your trading to help you better your performance. So you just take your trade, whether it is stop loss or TP, you don't record it and you just move about your day, wait for the next trading day. Then you're wondering why after 6 months to 1 year, somehow you're just struggling but you can't understand where the problem is. Another case could be you've probably done some good backtest of your strategy, you've collected the data and you've proven your system actually works. Now when it comes to the market and you have to execute, you start to be indisciplined. Your system tells you must see A, B, C before you execute. You only see A and B, there is no C, but you still execute. Or maybe you see all your conditions coming into play, but somehow you don't take the trade because you had fear or just for one reason or the other. Then at the end of the month, quarter, whatever period it is, you look at your performance and you're not impressed. You start to feel the frustration and you start saying things like trading is difficult, I've been struggling for a long time, it's a very hard field to make money. But you see, whatever you are doing in this case is you trying to find reasons to just blame everything instead of sitting down, reflecting on yourself and taking accountability to actually figure out what could be the exact reason as to why I've been trading for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. I've learned so many concepts, but I'm still not making money. For some of you, it's as simple as your trading strategy doesn't work, but you don't want to agree with that. Or maybe you've not even taken time to backtest it for you to know it doesn't work. I'll tell you for free, there are so many struggling traders out there. If I sit down with them today and we collect data around their system, we will easily figure out the system they've been using to trade that makes them think they're an actual trader in the market. That system for the last 2-3 years has actually been having a negative curve. So just by doing simple data collection, you will figure out the approach I've been using in the market doesn't work. But guess what? You've been losing and you're just trying to blame everything apart from the fact that it could be an internal problem and not anything external. So as a trader, I want you to learn to take accountability. I want you to learn to take a step back, reflect on your trading. If you find yourself losing so much, you should be able to answer the question of number one, does this strategy work? Yes or no? You should answer using data, not by the fact that you watched someone's YouTube video who said this is a 90% win rate strategy. Second question you should be asking yourself is, have I really been executing well, or am I the one who's making making errors in my execution. If you watch my channel, you must see that every quarter I try to do a quarterly breakdown to show you my performance. And if you notice on my quarterly breakdowns, I always show you the mistakes that I did during that quarter. Like in Q1, I think one of the mistakes I did was getting some trades late. Then in case they go against me, I was losing more on those setups. So what the journal was doing was helping me to become accountable, and by the time I'm done with my Q1, Q2, I can pinpoint and say, yes, I was profitable, but I didn't fully capitalize on every trade because of this and this error. That's what accountability actually looks like. You won't find me just there frustrated and telling you, oh, in Q1 I didn't pass my prop farm and I'm so frustrated. Instead, I'll be telling you, yes, I didn't pass the prop farm, but I was able to recognize the errors I did which made me not pass the prop farm. Because based on my system, maybe I should have returned 14 or 15%, but I did 2 or 3 errors which made me only return maybe 8 or 9%. So when you start to become accountable, it also helps you to take that responsibility, and when you go to the markets, you won't be trying to revenge trade. Instead, you'll be trying to fix the errors you've been doing. But assuming I wasn't accountable, after that Q1 ends and I didn't pass my prop farm the way I could have wanted, I'll just start to become emotional and stressed up about it, instead of actually trying to understand, was there a problem I did and what can I fix to make sure my Q2 is now better. For some of you, you might check your results and easily notice I've been struggling not because of the strategy, but because of my risk management. Maybe you don't let your trades run to the full risk to reward ratio they're supposed to. You risk too much on some trades, which forces you to cut them too early. So just because of your poor risk management, it easily affects how you behave in the market, and you become inconsistent in terms of how you risk per trade and even how you allow every trade to play out. This alone is enough to turn your performance from positive to a break-even or even a losing performance. So if you start to become accountable, what you'll be telling yourself is that my system actually has no problem. The problem is me who has been risking too much, then it affects my emotions in the market. So what will you be trying to do moving forward? Your focus will be to make sure you're now risking what you're comfortable to lose, so that the next time you see you are trading a small loss, you won't be feeling the temptation to want to cut it short. So this was just a very brief video of me trying to help you to ask yourself some deep questions on whether you're actually accountable in your trading, or you're running away from taking responsibility because you're frustrated because of something that is actually your own problem that you can fix, but maybe you're too blind to even see or notice it. I was having a chat with one of my friends, I think recently, and we were just discussing about, because this friend of mine is also a trader. We've been trading for, almost the same period. So he was just reminding me on how about 3 or 4 years ago, we used to trade without actually backtesting. And we were laughing at each other and just asking ourselves, how are we even confident in the market back then? Like, how are we able to execute and we had no data, across the systems we were using? Like, every day you would enter the market with a different approach. Today you just enter with price action or support resistance. Tomorrow you see a supply zone, you try to sell there. Like, you just mix up different things. And we are also able to conclude that back then we really used to struggle in our trading in terms of consistency. Like, whenever I'd lose 2 or 3 trades in a row, I'd be so quick to think this strategy doesn't work, let me try to find something else. For me, one of the mistakes I used to make back then, because of not having data, is something many traders do until date. You hit a 3-trade losing streak, then you lie to yourself, let me take a break from the market. There is no actual data that proves after you lose 3 trades you will take a break. I think that's a very shallow way to look at things. It goes to show that most likely there is no actual proof around the system you're using, or maybe you've been risking too much, so that's why you want to take a break. But if you are risking enough per trade, meaning you're not over-risking and you're following your system, having a 2, 3 or 4 trade losing streak should not be a reason for you to take a break, because you take a break that your data and your system does not show you should be taking. Then after you take a break, what happens? The next trade comes, goes to your TP, maybe 2 or 3 winners, but you didn't get those TPs because you were in a break, and those TPs are the ones which should have recovered your losses and taken you back to profit. So now you come back from your break and you're now happy because you've seen the last 3 trades went to TP even though you didn't take them. Then the next trade you take now hits your stop loss, which is very normal and common in the market. So had you not taken a break, had you just traded consistently and respected your system, you would have recovered the losses, you would have gone back in profit, and even if you take another loss, you would still be up positive. So these are some of the things I used to do because I didn't have data, you understand? Because when you don't have data, you are easily emotional. You make decisions based on how you are thinking and how you are feeling. Nowadays, even if I lose 3, 4 trades in a row, I continue executing like nothing happened, and eventually I always recover all those drawdowns and go back to profit. So long story short, after having that conversation with my friend, it helped me to actually realize, the only time I started to make progress in my trading is when I was accountable and I had to accept the fact that I have no data. I think I know what I'm doing, but the results are showing that I clearly don't know what I'm doing. I'm easily emotional. When I take 2 or 3 losses, I'm questioning whether I should continue trading with that strategy again. And after taking accountability and accepting that the mistake is on my side, I went back to the drawing board, re-strategized, and started to focus more on collecting data to understand my systems better, to understand how can I risk to make sure even in the bad losing periods or in the bad drawdown periods, I don't blow my account. So all these things gave me a crazy level of confidence. And I can tell you for free, from back then to now, it's been almost a 3-year period of consistency where even if I go into a drawdown, it's so easy for me to recover. I profit almost every quarter from whatever market I've been trading because I've actually tested them and I understand them in and out. But all this started from the part where I took accountability and I accepted that I've been trading for a long time. I'm losing so much in the markets. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know price action so well. I think I understand the fundamentals so well. But some of the results are showing that I still can't make money. So I had to ask myself some serious questions, which is what I think many of struggling traders need to do right now. Stop blaming everything. Stop trying to blame the choppy price action in the market. Go and collect your data. Go and understand your system. Your system should help you to know whether or not you can trade that choppy price action. So if I reflect at my trading from back then when I was not accountable to right now, a lot has really changed. My confidence level has gone way up. I'm so confident to the point that even when I'm trying to test new systems, already I understand what I need to implement to make them profitable. It's so easy for me to know that this style can work for me, this style can't work for me. And I also know what my strengths in the markets are and what my weaknesses are. For me, one of my strengths in the market has been just not interfering with my trades. I can't tell you how many trades nowadays which go 2 pips close to my stop loss and I don't close them. Then they reverse, go to my TP. I've had another one recently on CAD JPY. Maybe I'll just pull up the screenshot here. Reversed almost to my break even with about 2 pips as well, but I was just still holding it, went back to my TP. But a while back I'd have closed all these trades prematurely because of fear. So one of my strengths right now in the market is the ability to just not interfere with my trade. Like, let it do whatever it will do. One of my weaknesses that I've spotted is once in a while I just find myself missing trades or getting my entries late. If I'm supposed to take the entry here, maybe I was doing something, then I find it a little bit late. Quarterly, I've missed maybe 1 or 2 trades. In Q1, I don't know, I missed 2 trades or something. And missing 2 trades is a lot because 2 trades is literally you missing 6% or 6R. Especially if you're trading a prop firm, that 6% is enough for you to pass a phase 2, you understand? So that's the weakness that I've had, which I'm trying to work on. But you see, all this is only possible because I'm accountable and it helps me to get better moving forward. So take time after watching this video, reflect on your trading. Ask yourself some hard questions. Look at your data. Do you even have data in the first place? If you do, focus on it. Study the patterns of your data. What is the data telling you in terms of how you lose, in terms of how you win? What is it telling you in terms of how you've been risking? And is there something you can do to actually become better? This is the only thing that will assist you to actually turn your trading around. If you've been here for 3-4 years and you're still not making money, yet according to you, you think you understand everything, but somehow you just can't have that results that you want. Feel free to share your thoughts as well in the comment section, and I hope you guys learned something from this video. See you next time. Peace.